What's going on, guys? I have got to do a video on the follow-up for what you guys named the FrankenScag, which was pretty cool. I like that. So I'm going to go out to the shop and I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you your closure on this FrankenScag mower. You have to understand that it was not designed with electric start. It's got a key switch, which is simply on, off. Turn it on, you can pull start it, turn it off with a key. But somebody put a engine off of a garden tractor, which wasn't designed with a electric PTO, which burned up the alternator from trying to charge the battery and operate the PTO. That's why it burned up the wires, and also the compression release on the cam is broken. I adjusted the valves, both intake and exhaust, at 4,000s, which is awful tight, and it still doesn't work. You hit the start button and just burn. You know how the engine does. That's how they burn up the wiring. So I'm going to go out here and I'm going to show you that, give you guys closure on that. And I'm going to show you some other stuff I'm working on, guys. I'm going to show you how damn busy I am in the shop. So y'all hang loose, fellas. We're going to have a little video. There's the FrankenScag. This mower did not come with a traditional key switch. It did not come with an electric start. It come with, I mean, just like some of your, Laser Z's these days, on off is all you got, key switch. On, then you can pull start, and then to cut the engine off, it just grounds the coil. That's all it does. All it does. This one, somebody added a push start, which is fine. Okay. From the battery, I put a good battery in it. I had it on 10 amp charge all day. I know the battery's good. So, positive cable goes to the terminal on the solenoid. Okay. The other terminal is going to go right to the starter. Okay, to make this work, you want to excite this solenoid. So what we did was we went from the terminal straight from the battery, we went up to that just simple push start. All it does is give you continuity when you push that button, and it goes up and it comes back down to this exciter wire. That's all it does. When you give it 12 volts right there, it's going to give you continuity between these two main terminals, and that's going to go to the starter. Simple as that. Very simple. Very simple. We have no fuel solenoids. We have nothing. Nothing to worry about. Just simple starting system. But what the problem was, this engine has a compression release that has failed. I took the valve cover off, made sure the valves were adjusted. I put them at 4,000s, which was awful tight, but I know the valves are adjusted. They're not too loose, so the compression release should, if it's good, it should work. So the compression release on the cam is obviously broken. This is a motor off a garden tractor, Lord knows what. So when you come over here and you turn the key on, it ungrounds the coil, so you're going to get fire, and then when you push the button, nope, the compression release is bad on this engine. Push, push, come on, you can do it, baby. Yeah, goddamn, get it. Nope, it ain't gonna work. And evidently somebody had kept trying, burnt these wires up. They overheated it. There was no inline fuse or nothing to protect itself against overheating. So it just, oh, what a mess that is. Guys, that is the FrankenScag. I called the customer. I told him this engine is not worth repairing. It's an old intake. It's not designed for this. I think it's a 48. It's a 48-inch deck. It's a good mower. He's got, you know, new cover blades on it, and new wheels and tires, and, you know, it's decent shape, really. I mean, really, to be so old, it's got to be an 80s model or early 90s. But this mower is not worth continuing on. Not worth it, not worth it. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on some other stuff we have in the shop. I just charged the customer $50 for cleaning up the wiring, checking it out. Of course, he's not getting my battery. That's my battery. Troubleshooting diagnosis. He's going to come and get it. He's going to find another engine. That's fine. Bring it back one other day and we'll fix it good. I will be right back. I want to show you some stuff I got going on in the shop. You know, Lord knows I have got plenty of stuff in the shop to do. I got lots and lots of stuff to do. I'm actually having to, well, I ain't going to say that because I don't want to incriminate myself. So I will just give you guys an idea about what we've got going on out here. Ooh, look at all that good stuff I got to do. If anybody needs a job, just holler at me. I'll be right back, fellas. Alright guys, I'm going to go over some things I got going on in the shop. Check out the Lawnmower Detective. Check out Rich, Mowers and Blowers, outdone boys. Let me show you guys some, busy fellas. It's a crazy time of year. I know it's a crazy time of year for a whole lot of people. I'll be right back. I want to go over, well, I just got a new project in the shop. This tractor belongs to a very good friend of a very good friend. And I didn't know that until he arrived at my house. He had his lawnmower loaded on a friend's truck, okay? He was on his way to a local shop, and he called him right before he got there. And, oh, we're not taking anything in right now. We're not taking anything. He said, what am I going to do? Well, he got on Google and said, you know, mower repair near me, and lo and behold, I popped up. And he drove all the way from 2 counties over. He's a firefighter, and he's a dear friend of a dear friend of mine. It's some kind of divine intervention, guys. I mean, the way he found me, because this is my specialty right here. This is my bread and butter. This is what I like. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do to this thing. Check this out. Guys, on first inspection, this thing has been sitting for a year or two, and it is nasty. It is nasty. God almighty, damn it. Let me grab a screwdriver. I'm going to grab a screwdriver and just show you guys how damn nasty this thing is. You can see, I cleaned that off so I can get part numbers. But you can see the creepy crawlies have been crawling all over this thing for a long time. He said, well, I don't have anywhere to put it. I keep it under a tarp. Well, that's bad. You know, you put a tarp over one of these things, and all it's going to do is hold moisture and create heat and moisture, and, you know, it's just not good for a tractor. It's like a car. You're not going to do that to a car and leave it sitting in the grass. But at first glance, of course, all the tires are flat. I'm going to put tubes in all of them. But the first thing I noticed, grab my flashlight here. Y'all can see it better. Oh, this thing is nasty. We can incorporate that in the name of the tractor. Nasty. But this thing has got to have an inch of crud. Here I am shining my flashlight on my phone, but it needs to be in front of my phone. Huh. I mean, this thing is absolutely coated. Absolutely coated in oil. You know, when you have an oil leak, all the dust and debris sticks to the oil, and it causes just, my God, that's got to be a 1/2 inch thick. Look at that. I thought, oh my goodness, first thing I thought was that engine sump gasket. You know, there's a gasket that runs around the engine. Maybe that's leaking. Maybe the engine seal is leaking. I don't know if you guys can see this, but the entire bottom of this tractor is absolutely coated in oil, and debris, and dust, and goo. Ugh. And I thought, well, you know, maybe it's, you know, I mean, it's on both sides of the engine. My God, look at that. This thing is absolutely coated in goo. Look how damn nasty this thing is. But you know what, guys? We're going to fix this thing up. And it ain't going to take a whole heck of a lot. Tractors, residential tractors, are so resilient, man. You can bring them back from the dead so easily. So what we're going to do, you know, I was looking at this, all this crud buildup. That was my first concern. The oil level wasn't black, but it was low. And I'm like, yeah, we got ourselves an oil leak. But oh God, I got to pull the engine. I got to do a sump gasket. Oh God, I got to do a seal. No. You know what it is? You know what it is? That damn oil plug's loose. I could turn it with my fingers. That's what it is. The infamous oil plug, the ubiquitous oil plug is loose. Good gurgly murgly, look at that. All this mess is caused by that oil plug. Usually when I get a tractor in here, you can't break that thing loose with a prayer, but this one was loose. But anyway, so what we're going to do is, first thing I got to do is pull the deck off. Drain the fuel, remove the fuel tank, pull the battery out, pull the hood off. I'm going to take it out in the driveway. I'm not going to hose it off like I usually do. I'm going to get the pressure washer out, and I'm going to turn it on its side, pressure wash this thing top to bottom. It's going to need a, you know, complete pressure washing. And that's going to bring it back in its own right there. So what we're going to do is oil change, spark plug, air filter, of course, is dirty. When you leave one under a tarp, everything will rust. Even the studs that hold the air filter on. The air filter itself, if it has a metal mesh, everything will rust. So we're going to do an oil change, spark plug, oil filter. We're going to do a complete basic service. We're going to pull the deck off separately. We're going to pressure wash it. Of course, it's going to need new blades. My goodness, look at that blade. Woo! The lifts are completely wore out and gone. I'm going to show you the other spindle. We're going to replace the blade belt. This one is a very drive. We're going to replace the upper and lower drive belts. Don't know if you can see this or not, but it's only a 10-year-old tractor, but again, it is 10 years old. And if you look in here, if I can squeeze the camera in there, I don't believe I can. If you turn the belt over and put negative pressure on it, you can see the splits and cracks in the drive belts. The ground drive belts, transmission ground drive belts. Whether you buy a blade belt, a drive belt, transmission belt, they're all going to be called drive belts. Don't get confused by that. You need a hydrostatic drive belt or a ground drive belt is what powers the tractor, or the deck drive belt is what powers the blades. And it is so soaked in oil. Let me grab my flashlight again. I don't know if you can see this or not, but everything is just so soaked in oil. I mean, it's like exploring the Titanic, fellas. Crazy. All because that little plug was loose. I mean, that's got to be more than a half-inch thick of goo. And also, he had a problem with the steering. Had a whole heck of a lot of play in it. And I'm going to go over that with you too. I'll tell you how to tighten your steering. So we've got all 3 belts, complete engine service, all the fuel lines, tubes in all the tires, except for that one. It's already got a tube in it. Evidently he had a flat before. But I took this cover off because his blade was dragging the ground. I mean, look at that. Look at the, it's been sitting there for less than 24 hours and it's already just oozed goo. Good googly moogly. I mean, look at all the creepy crawlies. When you put a tarp over your tractor, the creepy crawlies are going to take over. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to get ugly. And the deck. His initial concern was the blades. Let me see if I can show you guys this. I'll raise the deck a little. Damn, I can't do that with my own hands. Let's see. See if I can peek under there. That blade on this spindle is on the ground. The problem is the bearings have gone out in this spindle. You see the pulley is just laying on the deck. The bearings are absolutely gone. What you want to look for is reach in here amongst all the creepy crawlies. Grab these idler pulleys. Well, yeah, there we go. I'm replacing all the idler pulleys. I'm pulling the deck off and I'm redoing the deck like I've been known to do. I'm going through this tractor 100%. I mean, even the fuel lines are petrified. He wants a new fuel filter. He said he wanted a good fuel filter. He said, I want a fuel filter like you've got on your lawnmower. I said, well, that's a good fuel filter there. I said, that's just a screen. And those come apart. Those are crap. But this thing is like really exploring the Titanic. It really is. You know, we're going to do spindles, idler pulleys, and we're going to go through the idler pulleys for the drive belts, for the transmission. We're going to go tubes. We're going to go through everything on this tractor, guys. And, oh, look. Mater's Workshop is live right now, guys. Y'all check out Mater's Workshop. Look at there. What are you doing? Well, guys, you know, the first thing I thought was, of course, it's going to need a battery. But this battery is dated February of 20. This battery is well over 2 years old. And believe it or not, it shows 12 volts. Put it under a load. Look at that. That is a good battery. That surprises the heck out of me. I get surprised by something every day. And of course, he's going to need a new spring for his chute. Yeah, that spring is gone. And of course, the dust cap is gone. We're going to fix everything. We're going to go through this thing absolutely. Absolutely going to go through the whole thing. So guys, y'all stay tuned. This is going to be my next series, and we're going to have a good time. Y'all be good, fellas.